Welcome back. You're watching Speed News. I'm Samiksha Srivastava. Let's begin. President Donald Trump has left for Ankara, where NATO leaders are set to meet for an annual summit of the alliance. The July 7th and 8th gathering comes amid growing calls from Washington for European allies to take greater responsibility for their own security, increase defense spending, and prepare for a gradual shift in the US military presence in Europe after decades of American leadership. Trump is expected to discuss restoring Turkey's access to the F-35 fighter jet program during talks with President Erdogan. At the NATO summit, the move would reverse a 2019 decision that removed Turkey from the program after it acquired Russia's S-400 air defense system. However, the proposal faces legal obstacles, including a US law requiring certification that Turkey no longer possesses S-400 system before any F-35 sales can proceed. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has urged the United States to block the sale of F-35 fighter jets and related components to Turkey. He warned that the move could alter the power balance in West Asia. Netanyahu even argued that providing advanced military technology to Turkish president's government would be a mistake and cited concerns over regional security as well as recent criticism of Israel by Turkish officials. A deadly wave of Russian airstrikes has hit Kyiv, killing at least 28 people and damaging residential buildings ahead of crucial NATO summit in Ankara. Ukrainian officials said that Russia launched missiles and drones at the capital for the second time in a week as Kyiv faces shortages of Patriot air defense interceptors. Parallelly, Ukrainian drones reportedly struck a major oil refinery in western Siberia, according to Ukrainian authorities. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has renewed calls for the United States to provide more Patriot missile systems to help counter Russian ballistic missile attacks. Zelensky said that Ukraine could manufacture the advanced air defense systems if granted the necessary production licenses, and this as he highlighted the country's growing defense needs. Ukraine carried out another long-range drone strikes inside Russia, targeting a major oil refinery in Omsk, western Siberia, which is nearly 2,500 kilometers from the border region. The facility, which accounts for around 12% of Russia's oil refining capacity, is among several major refineries hit in recent Ukrainian attacks. Kyiv's repeated strikes on energy infrastructure have disrupted fuel supplies in parts of Russia, with reports of gasoline shortages, rationing and long queues at petrol stations in several regions. Prime Minister Narendra Modi received a ceremonial welcome in Indonesia as he arrived in Jakarta for a 3-day state visit. This is the first stop of his 3-nation tour, which includes Australia and New Zealand. Indonesian President Prabowo Subianto personally received Prime Minister Modi at the airport, where Indonesian Air Force fighter jets escorted Prime Minister Modi's aircraft after it entered the country's airspace. Prime Minister Modi later attended cultural programs and interacted with members of the Indian diaspora in Jakarta. Several agreements are expected to be signed during Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to Indonesia. This would cover areas including critical minerals, natural resources, healthcare, pharmaceuticals, education and space cooperation. India is seeking joint ventures with Indonesian firms to develop processing facilities for critical minerals. Discussions are also advancing over expanding defense cooperation, which includes possible additional supply of BrahMos missiles to Indonesia. The coffin of Iran's slain supreme leader Ali Khamenei has arrived in the holy city of Qom. Iranian media showed pictures of a helicopter carrying Khamenei's body landing in the city south of Tehran. A sea of people filled the streets as the flag-draped coffins of Khamenei and 4 of his family members moved slowly through the capital in a lorry traveling from the Imam Hussein Square in the city of Azadi Square in the west. An oil tanker was hit by an unknown projectile off the coast of Oman near the Strait of Hormuz. According to the UK Maritime Trade Operations, the attack sparked a fire but caused no reported casualties or environmental damage. The incident occurred amid ongoing efforts to maintain a ceasefire and secure a lasting regional agreement. Authorities are investigating the attack, while vessels have been advised to exercise caution in the area. At least 4 people were injured after a crude bomb exploded during a National Citizen Party rally in Bangladesh. The blast occurred while Dhaka District NCP convener Namila Tasneed was addressing the gathering with senior party leaders present on the stage. Authorities said that 3 of the injured victims are undergoing surgery at Inam Medical College Hospital. At least 26 people, including 7 prison guards, have been killed and more than 100 injured in Sri Lanka's deadliest prison unrest in years. The violence began on Sunday in Negombo after clashes broke out between remand prisoners and convicted inmates before escalating into a confrontation between inmates and security personnel. The following day, that is, police fired rounds inside the prison complex after authorities struggled to contain the unrest. This despite earlier claims that the situation had been brought under control. A clash between local residents and armed men in Hana Urak on the outskirts of Pakistan's Quetta has left 3 people dead and at least 9 injured. Authorities launched a security operation against suspected militants. Officials said that the violence began after armed attackers targeted the Babri area, which led locals to confront them in an exchange of gunfire. At least 4 suspected attackers were killed and several police personnel injured during the ongoing operation, while authorities reported that 7 people were abducted by the assailants. A fleet of Japan-linked vessels has begun leaving the Strait of Hormuz after being stranded in the Gulf for months due to the Iran war. According to shipping data, the group includes 10 ships that are carrying around 12 million barrels of crude, along with chemical tankers, a vehicle carrier and a container ship. Separately, a Saudi crude oil supertanker bound for South Korea also exited the strategic waterway over the weekend, which marked a gradual resumption of maritime movement through this region. The Indian Meteorological Department has issued weather alerts for several states of India. Intense rainfall, thunderstorms and gusty winds are forecast in the coming days. Maharashtra's Nashik is likely to witness cloudburst like rainfall, while Odisha, Jharkhand and Himachal Pradesh are bracing for heavy to very heavy rains. An orange alert has been issued for parts of Himachal Pradesh, with authorities warning of possible disruptions due to severe weather conditions. Heavy monsoon rains triggered flooding in Maharashtra's Lonavala, forcing the evacuation of residents and tourists after water levels rose across a hill station. Rescue teams used boats and inflatable tubes to move stranded people to safety after several days of relentless rainfall that resulted streets and homes to be inundated. Severe weather in central China's Hubei province has killed at least 8 people, with one person still missing after thunderstorms, strong winds and tornadoes swept through the region, adding to the impact of widespread extreme weather conditions. A reservoir wall collapsed in southern China and sent floodwaters into surrounding areas. Residents were evacuated as rivers and reservoirs swelled following intense rainfall linked to Typhoon Nisa. Multiple wildfires broke out across Albania as strong winds caused flames to spread rapidly, damaging property and threatening communities. Authorities evacuated residents from affected areas, deployed military helicopters for firefighting operations, and arrested a man accused of starting a blaze that spread out of control. Severe flooding in Alajo, a suburb of Ghana's capital, left communities mourning deaths, recovering from destroyed houses and struggling to rebuild damaged businesses. Residents said that floodwaters rose rapidly that left behind mud, debris and widespread losses, while experts linked worsening floods to urbanization, poor drainage system and heavier rainfall patterns. From the world of tech, Broadcom has extended its chip supply partnership with Apple through 2031, thereby reinforcing a long-term relationship that underpins key wireless technologies used across the iPhone maker's devices. Broadcom supplies Apple with radio frequency, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and other networking chips, despite Apple's continued efforts to design more of its own silicon, including its CI modem. The extended agreement builds on a multi-billion-dollar deal announced in 2023 and thereby strengthens Apple's strategy of securing long-term chip supplies to improve the resilience of its global supply chain. The UK's Financial Conduct Authority for FCA has said that it should review whether general-purpose AI models such as ChatGPT, Claude and Gemini require additional regulation as more people turn to them for financial advice. The regulator said that more than a quarter of UK consumers trust large language models to help make financial decisions, despite the fact that the consumer protections applied to regulated financial services do not cover these AI tools. The FCA also warned that growing reliance on a small number of AI providers could create systems-wide risks, suggesting the existing regulatory framework may actually need to evolve as AI becomes more embedded in financial sector. Denmark has joined Belgium in a legal battle against major technology companies, arguing that digital platforms should pay news publishers when their content appears online. The case before the European Court of Justice involves Google, Meta, Spotify, Sony and Streams, which are challenging Belgium's implementation of the European Union's digital single market copyright rules. Denmark says a ruling in favor of the technology companies could weaken press publishers' rights and will urged the court to clarify that digital platforms have a responsibility to compensate media organizations for the use of their content. From the world of business, Asian benchmarks defied a rally in several technology powerhouses, which lifted Wall Street stocks amid speculation that the artificial intelligence-led bull market has more room to run. The advance on Wall Street overnight halted a back-to-back sell-off in chip makers, with the Nasdaq 100 climbing about 1.3%. A wild ride for the tech stocks in recent weeks has left investors looking for fresh validation of the AI trade. On Tuesday, Asian stocks extended their fall even as Samsung Electronics predicted a staggering 19-fold increase in June quarter profit. South Korea's Kospi fell 4.1%, with most other stock benchmarks in the region trading in the red. The yen languished near 40-year lows on Tuesday as traders pushed the currency lower, with no sign yet of any intervention by Japanese authorities. However, the risk of a surprise move of yen buying by Tokyo kept losses in check. The yen struggled on the weaker side of 162 per dollar in early Asia trade and weakened to nearly its lowest against the British pound since 2007 after having crashed to a new low overnight. Japan is scheduled to hold an auction of 30-year government bonds on Tuesday. If the auction is weak, those bond yields could rise further and accelerate a sell-off in the yen. At the same time, the currency on the other side of the trade, the dollar, gained broadly against most major currencies. President Donald Trump called crypto powerful during the launch of Trump investment accounts for children, while also attempting to distance himself from his family's crypto ventures. The Trump family accounts is a new tax-advantaged investment vehicles for children under 18. On Monday, during the launch, the president was asked whether Bitcoin could be included in those investments. While Trump did not answer directly when asked whether Bitcoin could be included, the president did say that he is a big crypto guy. Trump instead also pointed to competition in China and crypto's political swing. The president touched on his family's crypto ventures and reiterated that there was nothing wrong or illegal about it. However, Trump and his family's wealth surged from the very policies the president frames has become a point of contention among lawmakers in the US. Lionel Messi and Mohamed Salah take center stage as Argentina face Egypt in the round of 16 clash in Atlanta. The defending champions are favourites to progress to the quarterfinals. Messi has scored 7 goals in just 4 games and is currently tied with Kylian Mbappe and Erling Haaland for the Golden Boot. Egypt are led by Mohamed Salah and have reached the round of 16 for the first time in their history. They booked their place after defeating Australia 4-2 in a penalty shootout. Shifting focus to the world of entertainment, Hollywood powerhouses united in London for the world premiere of The Odyssey. From Oscar-winning veterans like Matt Damon and Anne Hathaway to young generation defining talent, including Zendaya and Tom Holland, a whole host of stars posed for photographs on the red carpet. Director Christopher Nolan was also in attendance with his wife, producer Emma Thomas. He's premiering the movie 3 years after the release of his box office hit Oppenheimer, which won the Academy Award for Best Picture in 2024. Nolan's The Odyssey is an adaptation of Homer's epic ancient Greek poem and stars Damon as the heroic King Odysseus. Virtual actor Tilly Norwood, who hasn't been cast in a film since her career was launched in fall 2025, may finally be getting her breakthrough role despite Hollywood's disdain. Her creator said that they will make a feature film for her that will be produced entirely using artificial intelligence with a hand from human writers, human technicians and human actors. The movie titled Misaligned refers to the notion of the struggle to make AI align with human values and goals. Hollywood star and filmmaker George Clooney will be honored with this year's Venice Film Festival Golden Lion for Lifetime Achievement Award. In a statement, Venice Film Festival director lauded Clooney's long-standing career and called him a complete and charismatic artist. In a statement shared by the festival, Clooney said, and I quote, "I've had so many extraordinary moments in Venice. This festival is without question my favorite, and to be given the Golden Lion is a tremendous honor. It also probably means I'm old, but I'll take it, unquote. K-pop superstars BTS kicked off their first night in London at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. The Septet are touring their fifth studio album, Rang, which shares the same name as the tour. BTS has another show in London on Tuesday. After that, they will be heading to Munich and Paris. Then they are heading back to the US for more dates. The K-pop stars will also tour in Colombia, Peru, Lima, Argentina, Brazil, Taiwan, Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, Australia and Hong Kong before finishing up in the Philippines in March of 2027.